To all members of the Cheryl and Hazel Anderson family, at the request of the Jeff and Janelle Blaine family, I, Hazel Anderson, have prepared the following statement as to my involvement in family history and my subsequent addiction to that activity. I grew up with genealogy. As just a little girl, I remember my father trying to learn more about his Danish heritage. My mother was the official record keeper for her Despain family organization. I've dabbled in family history almost as long as I can remember. Before I was married, I lived and worked in Salt Lake City. Sharon, one of my roommates, was an avid genealogist. We spent many hours at the Family History Library, which at that time was housed in the old Montgomery Ward building. My association with Sharon continued through the years. She married a man whose mother was an accredited Danish researcher. She taught Sharon, and Sharon taught me. Through the years of raising my children, I would sneak in a trip to the Family History Library in Salt Lake as often as I could, but it was pretty hit and miss. However, I did become deeply involved in the Family Records Extraction Program, or FREP as it was called during those years. This program has evolved into what we now call family search indexing. I guess this is where my addiction really began, and it has continued now for going on 40 years. Since the latest internet version of indexing, I've indexed or arbitrated over 760,000 records. My addiction became worse when a few years ago I decided to give my sister and her husband each a couple of binders containing their family histories as a Christmas gift. This, of course, took many months to compile. At this time, I also put together several volumes on my husband's family. When I started this project, I was serving as an ordnance worker at the Manti Temple. I dearly loved this work and had been there several years. One day, while at the temple, it became very clear to me that the time had come for me to devote all my time to family history. That very day, I visited with the assistant matron, cleaned out my locker, and eagerly let myself slip into the total family history addiction. I am now aided and abetted by Janelle in the Project Selma phase of this addiction. I cannot adequately express what a blessing she has been to the progress of this work. We now have about 70 baptisms waiting to be done, and way more than that, endowments and sealings. The work is being hastened. The windows of heaven have been opened to us. We are literally being shown which families are ready for temple ordinances. It has become bigger than both of us. We need your help. Janelle's family and ward members have been doing much of the ordinance work for us, but we now need family help. It will require a sacrifice of both time and effort. I know you are all busy, but I invite you to prayerfully decide what you can do to further the work. Please contact Janelle to see what needs to be done. I recently attended a family history conference at BYU. A keynote speaker said that most temple-going church members are on what he called temple welfare. They go to the temple and are handed a name slip with no effort on their part. Certainly, blessings come to all concerned, but only half the blessing is received by the one doing the work. The other half of the blessing is received when the proxy has been involved in the searching and preparing that precede the printing of that blue or pink or yellow card. I know from personal experience that this is true. And there you have it, full disclosure of a wonderful addiction and a plea for you all to join the crowd. Thank you.